As a kid, have you ever played with marbles on the beach? This is one of the first characteristics that comes to our mind when thinking about this planet. Welcome back on SpaceInfo. If you haven't done yet, consider subscribing to our channel. You will keep learning new things and help us grow our community, which count more than 110,000 people. Our journey in the solar system has come to the seventh planet, Uranus. Since its rotational axis is tilted at about 90 degrees with respect to its orbital plane, you can imagine it spinning on a side while rotating around the Sun. Discovered in 1781 by astronomer William Herschel, he originally thought it was either a comet or a star. Anyway, this is the first planet discovered with the aid of a telescope. Light needs about 2.5 hours to travel from your eye up to the planet's surface, which is at about 3 billion kilometers from Earth. Uranus is about 4 times wider than Earth, but only takes about 17 hours to rotate once, a Uranian day, and about 84 Earth years to complete an orbit of the Sun. Most of its mass is a hot, dense fluid of icy materials, mainly water, methane and ammonia, which wind a small rocky core. We cannot distinguish any particular feature of this planet since it is covered by a thick haze. Also due to this, it is quite difficult to determine the size of the core, but we can affirm that this is quite different from the other giants of the solar system. Over the rocky core there is a layer of water, which is covered by hydrogen and helium. High pressure dissociates the mixture of water, ammonia and methane into ions, so that this fluid body is more like a salt than a liquid as we usually imagine. The composition of these fluids favors electrical conduction, which combines with the motion of these elements that are drawn by convective flows, giving rise to the magnetic field of the planet. In 1986, Voyager 2 found that the visible southern hemisphere of Uranus can be subdivided into 2 regions: a bright polar cap and dark equatorial bands, approximately divided at a latitude of 45 degrees. Around this latitude, with a stripe about 5 degrees wide, there is a bright large feature called the southern collar. But, do you remember that the planet is like spinning on its side? It is also due to this asymmetry that in 2007, when Uranus passed its equinox, the southern collar almost disappeared, and a faint northern collar emerged at the same coordinate. Apart from this feature, the northern hemisphere has also looked much darker than the southern one. Being the revolutionary period of Uranus very long in time, we will see if the situation will flip along its orbit. With new high-resolution imaging techniques becoming available, cloud formations have been discovered also in the northern hemisphere and compared with ones in the southern. They have some differences, like the first reaching higher altitudes, but both can have a lifespan from few hours to years. One hypothesis behind these clouds is linked to the convective flows inside the planet's atmosphere. The observation of bright and dark spots helped in the study of the winds, which can reach up to 800 kilometers per hour. Before 1986, scientists had expected the magnetic field of Uranus to be in line with the solar wind, because it would then align with Uranus's poles that lie in the orbital plane. In this year, though, Voyager 2 spacecraft revealed that Uranus's magnetic field is quite unique. It does not originate from the center of the body and is tilted about 60 degrees to the rotational axis. This asymmetry causes Uranus's magnetosphere to interact with the charged particles of the solar wind once a Uranian day, causing the planet to be hit by the Sun's particles. Do you like our work on the solar system series? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our socials. This will hugely support us in the creation of content. Some interesting news are coming the next weeks. Did you know that also Uranus has rings? 13 rings, to be precise. The innermost one is the broadest, while the others are only up to few kilometers wide. Thanks to Voyager 2, we know that they contain very few particles of dust, which vary in size from micrometers to a fraction of a meter. They are supposed to be relatively young, and scientists think that they have formed from previously existing moons. The last 2 rings were only discovered in 2005 by the Hubble Space Telescope, which also discovered 2 small satellites, and one of these 2, MAB, shares its orbit with the outermost newly discovered ring. There are 27 moons orbiting around Uranus, 10 of which were discovered by Voyager 2. The geological history of some moons is puzzling, and many features reminiscent of an active past can be found. Miranda is the innermost among the largest moons, and thanks to its deep and steep craters, probably originated following a collision, reveal its numerous different geological layers. The other main moons are Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, and Oberon. So, for the lover of literature out there, yes, their name was taken by the works of Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. But that's all for today. Follow SpaceInfo and join the Members Club to always learn something new. See you in the next video.